of nothing except the barest whiff of Old Spice. My father was a goofy dad, big on sound effects. For Hansel and Gretel munching on the gingerbread house, he went bug-eyed and produced a sonorous gomp, 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 his mouth stretching into rubbery ovals. The witch's plot to roast the kids got the same gomp, 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 gomp. He read with confidence, his translation of the German into English smooth and proud. He was pleased that I liked the fairy tales, and also Der Stuhlwelpeter, or Shock-Headed Peter, stories of children who misbehave and suffer the consequences. In one, little Conrad persists in sucking his thumb, and just as his mother warned, the scissor man appears. A lithe, swift colossus, he bursts through the door and with a viper's precision snips off Conrad's thumbs with his gigantic shears. My father gave Conrad one emphatic knip with the zeal of a kid on a roller coaster, his German accent at full tilt. I felt his parental love and also the agitation of such a bond. I heard in his buoyant voice the pleasant surprise of finding me, a little girl, a decent companion. I heard, too, the bitter-sweet melody of his words. I understood that the stories were like consolation prizes. My father couldn't stay in Germany, remain the German boy he was, grow up into the German man he was meant to be. So he had these books. Sometimes, by myself, I would pull out Shock-Headed Peter and stare at the pictures. Conrad's bleeding hands, a girl burned alive because she played with matches, the skeletal remains of a boy who kept refusing supper. The book told me what had happened to my father. He, too, was the son of a cold mother who didn't believe in thumb-sucking or soothing of any kind. I wondered about my grandmother, as I did about my own parents, and whether their cold disposition was all the Nazis' doing. Or did explanation lie in some inevitable inborn darkness? Either way, my father had learned the same lessons as little Conrad. In this cruel world, children will suffer for minor transgressions, or for no reason at all. The scissor man could come at any time. My father insisted our books be returned to their original spot on the shelf and held in a particular manner while in transit. I was meant to use both hands, one on the top, the other supporting from the bottom, no dirty fingers on the pages. As with all of my father's movements around the house, his careful placement of a book back on the shelf was accompanied by rapid-fire commentary. Jakob Grimm died 1863, Berlin. Wilhelm Grimm died 1859, also Berlin. The Berlin-Spandau Canal, also 1859. Details about the history and construction of German boats would follow. One time, I forgot to put Shock-Headed Peter away on the shelf. My father found it on the floor, opened wide to the leaping scissor man. He made a point of stomping his feet when he was angry, almost as if he were mimicking a petulant child, an exaggerated march that stopped at my door. Just as he started the 3-pounding. That's how I thought of it, the 3-pounding. 3 smashing knocks that I'd never answer because even if I hadn't been frozen in terror, I'd never be able to get to the door before he flung it open. My mother would have been able to hear the 3-pounding from the kitchen. The house had thin walls, and my parents took advantage of its acoustics to yell at one another in German from different rooms. I knew only enough of their native tongue to recognize the routine phrases. My mother claimed she'd tried to teach me German when I was very young, but in truth, she was ambivalent about my learning it. To do so might make me fully German in my father's eyes. In our house, German was a compliment. German was superior. When I said something my father thought was clever, or if I earned any accolade at school, he would announce that I had his German.